pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Brewer? Here. Trustee Grant?
Here.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Tate?
Here.
Trustee Todd? Here. Trustee Sauk?
Here.
I'll entertain a motion to go into recess for the discussion of personnel matters, update and pending litigation, collective bargaining matters, and real estate and employment compensation review.
So moved. I second.
Moved by trustee Elizabeth Dupont, second by trustee Linda Todd. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposers? Be back in a few minutes. Entertain a motion to reconvene. Moved by trustee Elizabeth Dupont, second by trustee Todd. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer? Here. Trustee Grant?
Here.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Tate?
Yes.
Trustee Todd? Here. And trustee Sauk? Here.
Okay, public comments. All questions and comments must be delivered and directed to the mayor. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. There is no public comment. Okay. Everyone had a chance to read their minutes. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for committee meeting from May 16th.
So move.
Second.
It's moved by trustee Grant, and second by trustee Todd. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer? Yes. Grant?
Yes.
Jones? Tate? Todd?
Yes.
Sauk? Abstain.
Motion carried. Okay, reports of officers, the mayor's report. At this time, I would like to have Mary Escobedo please come up. Madam Clerk, please swear in as our new treasurer here in the village. As you. Just 1 second, Ms. Escobedo. Documentation. Mary Escobar, could you come up and be sworn in as our new treasurer here in the village, as the village treasurer? While she's doing that, I have a few things that I wanted to bring. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone that was involved, everyone that came out, and hoping the ones that could not make it. I would still just like to acknowledge that you wanted to come to the memorial service that we had last month at the end of the month on Monday. I think it was very well attended. And I'd like to also thank, they're not here right now, but I would like to thank the Boy Scouts. And also there was a card given for a person that there was a tree planted for a private P.L.A.N who was a Sauk Village resident. And we dedicated the tree that's there. I don't know if you go out there and you can look at the memorial, you see a tree, has a couple of flags in it, and also has a large rock, and it has inscribing on it. But this card was given to the village, and they were basically from the P.L.A.N family thanking the village trustees and the mayor and the police department for doing the dedication, and also thank Pastor Pitts who did the invocation for them. So I'd like to say thank you to the people that were involved in that. I don't see them here today, but I'd like to thank you for that. Also, we talked about it, and Sam's Club is coming out here to the village, and they'll be here in the Village Hall Wednesday, June 21st, to sign up anyone that wants a Sam's Club card. There should be applications in the back or flyers in the back, and it kind of tells you some of the free things that will be given away if you sign up. So I would say, if you don't have a Sam's Club card, they're coming out to you this next Wednesday. Well, not to you, but coming out to the village. Sign all residents up that would like to obtain a Sam's Club card. Okay, village clerk, you have a report.
Yes, I do. And it's a little lengthy, so please bear with me. Please bear with me. Because as I said, it is a little lengthy. First of all, I would like to, can you hear me now? It takes a minute for the mic to warm up and act right for me. First, I would like to thank all of the committees and commissions who responded to my request at the last meeting to assist with determination of the standings of each one of them. A report was finalized and submitted to the mayor on June 5th, 2017, identifying members, their terms, and the terms of expirations of those terms. So he has that, and so he will be in contact with various members. The Sauk Village website is in the process of a complete renovation. So we're going to ask that you please be patient as we prepare to roll out a new and improved site. The newly designed website will feature easier navigation and enhanced services for staff, residents, and organizations. Likewise, the Facebook page is forthcoming as well. We will be assuming administration of one of the existing pages simply because we have so many Sauk Village pages at this point, we just really can't see developing yet another. So I have communicated with an individual who's willing to hand over his page to us. I'm sorry? Also, our IT tech person, he has been working diligently on behalf of Windows 10 and all of their complexities. And then we also have a number of new staff for whom he's setting up accounts. And so we're just going to ask that you please be patient with us until he can get to each and everything that he needs to do. In terms of the FOIA requests, I have been providing those verbally. At some point, we will be putting them back on the website. Again, we're going to ask that you be patient with that. Let me just share this with you. According to law, you each have every right to file a FOIA request. You may ask for information under that act. But also, please know that a lot of the information that you're requesting, it does not require a FOIA request. All you have to do is simply ask me. Give me a call, email me. I will gladly share that information with you. You will get it in no time, no record, no anything, unless you just really want your name to be posted someplace. But know that we are willing to share any information at all. But some of the FOIAs that we've been getting, we've received FOIAs asking about the executive director's position, FOIAs asking about the administrative assistant position. I've received a FOIA asking if I'm available for a car wash tomorrow. I've received a FOIA asking for the Sauk Village Strategic Plan for Progress. I have these copied already in my office. All you have to do is to ask, and I'm able to push it to you right away. We have one FOIA request that I received today, and I'm certain something happened in the transition because this report was asked for on May 21st, but it went to our former village clerk's email, which she no longer is on this website. And that came today. It was responded to within less than 10 minutes. They just simply wanted a contract for Bud's ambulance services, but because it was delayed, that went to the Attorney General's office, so I had to respond back to them as well. But it was just simply pulling something from the file, giving it. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's just so easy just to ask for the information. We're still awaiting contact information, trustees and mayor, for the update of the website. A number of us went to a training of newly elected officers that was provided on June 3rd. It was well attended. We had 4 members from our village to attend. They spent a lot of time and provided a wealth of information. It was very timely. It was much needed. Most of the questions, not from just us, but from the entire body that was there, centered around parliamentary procedures. I do have a flash drive of all of the handouts, so if anyone would want copies of that, you're more than welcome to either get the hard copy or you can download it to your personal drive. IMLA conference is coming up. Registration opened yesterday, June 12th. Your housing has been secured already. The clerk's office is also in the process of binding minutes from the last 5 years. We're going to go from 2012 to 2016. It's not something that we have done in the past, but it is a requirement. So while I am in office, I will be working to bring that office up to speed. So that's going to be the first thing that we're working on. The next thing we want to work on is looking at all of our ordinances and our resolutions, and we want to provide a cross-reference so that if you're asking for a particular ordinance that may have taken place in 2012, but you don't remember the year, but you remember the title, we can do it alphabetically as well as by year. So that's something that we're working on, and that's going to be ongoing. We have communicated also with our area representative so that we're looking into becoming a passport acceptance facility, and the possibility looks quite promising. And the last thing that I would say to our directors, if you can, please email a copy of your report for this meeting at least by, I would say, 10 o'clock Friday prior to this meeting, because going forth, your reports will be a part of the minutes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and that completes my report.
Thank you, Village Clerk Marvin Campbell Pruitt. Village Engineer, Mrs. Zarni.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have two things. We held a pre-construction meeting for the 2017 resurfacing program on May 31st. Work will tentatively be starting next week on the roads to be resurfaced, and with a project completion date at the end of August. So be patient, and that will get done. And then the second project that we have going on is the sewer cleaning project, and we are in the process of scheduling a pre-construction meeting for that project as well. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Village Engineer. Reports of departments, committees, and commissions. Finance Administration, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's only one thing. The village sticker, the village sticker has to be purchased well before June 30th of 2017. If not, after June 30th onwards, if there is any residents are going to come to Village Hall to purchase the village stickers, will have to pay double the cost of the village sticker. That ends my report. Therefore, the village residents are requested to purchase the village sticker as soon as possible by the end of the June 30th. That ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. Fire Department, Chief Staff Ray.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Over the past few weeks, the fire department responded 30 calls, 3 fire alarms, 6 lift assist, 6 ambulance PD assist, 1 mutual aid, 3 vehicle fires, 3 vehicle accidents and 50s, 1 odor investigation, 1 brush fire, 2 gas leaks, 1 still, and 1 dryer fire. With the bad weather coming, make sure to stay hydrated and check on your elderly neighbors, which you guys have been doing a fantastic job. We will have the fire station open for a cooling center with the approval of the mayor, in which he will send me an email. Our operating budget was turned in to Mohan and Finance for approval. And one last thing, and I'm sure a lot of people have been watching TV. We had a Dalton firefighter got killed in the line of duty, helping a neighbor in Harvey. And we'll be sending the unit up there Saturday for the walkthrough and the procession. And that ends my report.
Vinny? I'm sorry, that was my fault. I'm sorry. Next, Police Chief Kowalski.
Mr. Mayor and Board, for the past 2 weeks, we had 650 calls for service with 51 arrests. Case of interest, on June 4th, a resident requested a street parking pass for a party they were having on the 2400 block of Plum Creek Drive. The party appeared to get out of control with uninvited guests driving up and getting into an argument with those attending the party. The unknown and uninvited guests began shooting at people, and 2 innocent victims were struck by gunfire with non-life-threatening wounds. When the officers attempted to gain information about the description of the offenders, no one could provide the investigator with any information. So we again and again, we stress, we're asking the public to step up and provide information on individuals who commit such crimes so that justice can be served. Without your help, these offenders could commit these crimes, continue to shoot at people, and next time possibly take someone's life. Also, parking permission will now be scrutinized by me, and any occurrence of this nature will be referred to the state's attorney's office for the filing of charges on the homeowners as a Marathon gas station located at Jeffrey and Sauk Trail. While she was paying, a male offender distracted her, making her look the opposite direction, while another male grabbed her car keys that were in her hand. Once the second male offender had the keys, both offenders ran out of the station and stole her vehicle, fleeing westbound Sauk Trail, then northbound I-394. Our investigators were working with Marathon, reviewing the video surveillance and working on identifying the offenders in this matter. So as a little side note, as a matter of caution, please be aware of your surroundings when you're in any area or at least paying for services. And make sure that you look at people in the face. If you look at them in the face, you'll less likely be a victim. We did recover the car in Chicago and it was in good shape. On June 8th, neighbors in the area of the 1600 block at 224th Court saw an individual break out a window at that residence and try to leave with household items. Officers were in the immediate vicinity and were able to apprehend the offenders. This is an excellent example of neighbors looking out for neighbors and being involved. I'd like to note that the police department receives anonymous tips of suspicious activity occurring at homes in the area. Whenever we receive this information, it does get disseminated to our DEA Drug Strike Force officer and to our investigative divisions. Officers will work a tactical operation at the complaint location, and in the past several months, we conducted several of these operations and arrested at least 12 individuals and towed over 9 vehicles. I encourage you, the citizens of Sauk Village, to continue to call the police if you see something suspicious or stop by the station and see me. We take this seriously and are committed to make Sauk Village a safer place to live. Together, we can make this happen. Special Olympics on June 6th, Sergeant Chris Mizak, along with Officer Andrew Vaughn, voluntarily participated in the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics. Their participation was not only admirable representation of their dedication to the department, but also a symbol of their compassion and kindness for the young athletes of the Special Olympic program. I have a correction for Cop on a Rooftop. In my report of 523, I thanked many individuals and groups, but I failed to mention a thank you to Al Vavrick of the Emergency Service and Disaster Agency, ESDA. Al, along with ESDA, is a great partner, and I apologize for not mentioning the assistance that he provides along with ESDA on this year's Cop on a Rooftop fundraiser. Lastly, I have 2 notes of appreciation. I received a letter of appreciation for Officer Ryan Sassano that I'd like to read, which says, "Dear Chief Robert Kowalski, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation for the assistance of Officer Sassano and for his considerate service displayed by assisting me on truancy home visits. As a first-year truancy officer at Bloom Trail High School, I quickly learned the high demand of the Sauk Village Police Department, and I am truly thankful being able to work with them in between calls as well as for such a helpful officer. I'd like to recognize Officer Sassano from the Sauk Village Police Department who assisted me on a home visit and for his valuable information around the area. Without his assistance, I would not be able to reduce the truancy rate at Bloom Trail High School. Officer Sassano is an exceptional professional who displays exceptional service. Officer Sassano is an extraordinary employee who is an asset to Sauk Village Police Department and to law enforcement profession. With great appreciation, Kim Krasik, Bloom Trail Truancy Officer. And lastly, I got a nice note for actions by Officer Gary Luke. It reads, Dear Chief Kowalski, I'm writing this letter to inform you of an incident that happened on May 20th, 2017. On that day, I was leaving my house to attend an event and was loading my car when I fell. Since no one was home at the time, I called 911 because I could not get up. One of your officers arrived minutes after I made the call. Officer Gary Luke was that officer. He immediately asked if I was hurt, and I told him no, that I just needed assistance. Without hesitation, he had me on my feet and could be on my way. He double-checked that I was fine. I wanted you to know that I appreciated his assistance and concern. I would like it if you would pass on my thanks to Officer Luke. Sincerely, Mrs. Marnell. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chief. Next report, Emergency Management Agency, Director Alan Maverick.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. I just wanted to reiterate, we went on 9 calls with our fire department. I'm not going to go into them because Chief Stoffer had already went in on them. We also had 1 AOA, assistant other agency to Cook County circumstances I'm not going to talk about at the present time. I am working with Will County about that plan that we were talking about getting you guys NIMS and everything. So I'm still in the works on that. And that concludes.
That's for the trustees, correct?
Yes, that's for the trustees, yes. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
for Director Maverick, I need you to explain an incident that took place at your place of employment and leading up to that so I can get rid of something.
Thank you, Mr. Tates. I'm also the Assistant General Manager for Popeyes. We had an American flag that was tattered and torn on our flagpole. Me and a couple of my employees proceeded outside to remove the flag, at which time I noticed a vehicle stop abruptly over at the gas station. The gentleman got out, stood at attention, and saluted as we brought the flag down. Come to find out, he was a Korean War veteran from Michigan. He come over, and he had asked if he could assist. You know, he assisted us with the removal of the flag, and at that time, I asked him if he would do us the honors of raising the flag. As he rose the flag, he went inch by inch and mumbled the names of his crew and his troops that he was in that are no longer with us. By the time he got to the top, he finished his platoon. Now, you know, that's something that I will always remember. At that time, we took the flag that was tattered and torn. We put it together and everything. I called Mr. Tates, being that he is a lieutenant colonel, retired. I asked him if he would do us the honors of properly disposing of the flag. And I called him, and he graciously obliged, and he took the flag from us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Community Development, Ms. Sherry Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll give you an update on the liens. I'm filing 12 more tomorrow. I've been diligently staying on top of them. The total amount of outstanding liens is $166,740.75. We've had a total of $99,830.16 paid. When people purchase homes, they have to pay those liens. So the June night court call, we had 96 tickets on the code enforcement docket. 90 were in default for failing to appear, and the fines were doubled. 4 were found liable, and 2 were found not guilty. And we have a new business that's opened up, and it's Hair Display, located at 22401 Joshua Drive. They work on like snap-on tool trucks, getting them ready for the company. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Zinsky. I just have a question. Is that the one that's over in TIF 2?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, reports from the trustees. I just wanted to say a lot of them just got their committees. I don't know if they're days for, I don't know if their days are of their meeting times, but I'm sure when they are called, they're going to be able to give you what time they're meeting. I don't know if they have a full report right now, but they'll give you a little bit about what they're going to be doing in the future. So with that said, I'll go with Trustee Bernice Brewer.
No report at this time.
Do you have a date of your public committee report that you're going to have? Your committee? Okay. Trustee Roderick Grant,
Thank you,
Finance and Budget.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to say that, as what the village clerk mentioned earlier, I did have a chance to go to the SSMMA workshop for newly elected officials, and it was very informative. I even passed on some information to the mayor and other trustees that I thought was beneficial to us as a village. As far as my Budget and Finance Committee meeting will be next Wednesday at 7 o'clock here in the Rotunda. So if you can make it, please show up. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Trustee. Trustee Calvin Jones is not here. Trustee Cecil Tate, Housing, and then the government.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things. Director Vavrick went over some things that, incident, I should say, that he experienced removing the American flag. One thing that happened during our celebration was one of the residents stood up and asked people who display the American flag, and if it's torn or tattered, to turn it in and replace it. And he keeps the American flag in front of his house all year long, so I'm pretty sure he replaces them all the time. But Director Vavrick did give me the flag, and I have it in a Popeyes bag. I have it. I would like to try to find out, I'm not sure we still have a VFW in Sauk Village, or maybe even Boy Scout Troop 152 can assist in disposing of this flag. If not, I'm going to reach out to Stager's VFW to try to get some assistance in replacing this, destroying this flag. So if anyone knows someone or organization that will do that here in Sauk Village, get in contact with me, let me know. I would rather that we take care of it ourselves rather than depending on other communities to take care of this. As trustees, we were not on the agenda last month, so I couldn't respond to some comments that were made. One thing was that I had made a proposal to buy new flags that would be utilized between here and the senior center. And one of the residents stood up and said, well, you know, why don't we try donations or some other way to get money for those flags? The truth of the matter is I contacted three military branches, requesting that they donate to Sauk Village flags, flag poles, flag stands, and other equipment that we needed. Two said no, and one said that their equipment is kind of tattered and worn, which puts us back where we are right now. So I did reach out to those organizations to see if they could assist us. I want to reach out to the remaining organizations, and the resident also said that perhaps we could think about a fundraiser to make purchases. And that's an idea that we need to take a look at. That way, the cost of the flags does not come out of the village coffers, so to speak. It's through donations. So we're going to pursue that avenue. One thing that I mentioned at the last meeting was when we came up with the information about the gaming ordinance, and I made a statement about how communities that surround us who have gaming parlors benefit. Now, mind you, that I understand that we don't have to recreate the wheel. We can take their policies, their ordinances, and revise them to fit Sauk Village, if that's what we're going to do. Because we also would like to have our law enforcement involved in doing that. But I pulled up a newspaper article, and they gave you information on the surrounding communities. And I just thought it to be more accurate, hopefully more accurate, that we have the information. And Mr. Mayor, I provided you with a copy. I'd like to provide all the trustees with copies. You can take a look at these and do with them as you wish. It's just being provided for information. That's all it is, information, to give you an idea of revenue that's available for gaming parlors for my surrounding communities that have them. So I'd like to hand those out before I go to my last item. Okay, the final item that I have is about the Memorial Day observance that we had. This was my first time doing it, thanks to Mayor Burgess. And what I found out was that I'm always an advocate of volunteers, and volunteers assisted in putting this together. This is the brochure for the program that I'm sure those who attended have them. It's an excellent job, I think, and it provided all the people who were interested with information about our program. I was surprised a little bit, not much, to see the mayor and his family show up and participate in the program, and I was very thankful that they did. Because people enjoyed seeing the mayor and his family out supporting something of this nature. Now, I want to divert just a little bit. I was disappointed. Veterans are given 2 days a year, Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and we had some people that acted out during the observance, and as you recall, we had people acting out during the Veterans Day observance. And I'm surely hope it's not a trend that we're seeing in Sauk Village, where people figure that they have to act out, become popular during Veterans Observance. Part of that, we reached out to Bloom Trail because we needed someone to play taps. And those of you who ever watch movies, you see them play taps at the end of the movies. And they provided us with a student at Bloom Trail who came out and played taps for us. That was interesting. But his name is Javier Segura. He's 16. He plays in a band at Bloom Trail. He wants to be a professional musician. But it was just heartfelt that he came out. I didn't get a chance to talk to him before he left, but he came out and he didn't even warm up or anything. He just watched the ceremony, participated in the ceremony, and at the end he played taps. That was real good. I sent a letter to the director of Bloom Trail's band, the principal, and hopefully they'll let Javier and his parents know that we appreciate it. Periodically, Bloom Trail does things for us, so we should, in a way, to return the favor and help Bloom Trail. I've got some ideas to show that we appreciate them as an educational institution, as they appreciate us as a municipality. But my thanks go out to Javier, all of the veterans who attended. I met Mr. P.L.A.N, and he said he sent a card to us. I had not met him and his family, and he was really appreciative that we participated and dedicated a treat to his son. And we had another individual that was mentioned that we hope we could do something for him. I have some ideas about the Veterans Memorial that I will present later on, because I think there's things that we should do. Very little thought was put into the Veterans Memorial as far as I'm concerned, so I have some suggestions of things that we can do to make it better. I do thank Public Works, because they came out a couple of days before and they pulled up the weeds and they made the area look really good for the celebration. So my hat goes off to Public Works and their employees for pitching in and cleaning up and making Sauk Village look presentable for the ceremony. Again, my thanks go out to Javier, his family, the veterans, their families, people who were there that were interested, and all of the volunteers. All the volunteers, thank you. And that concludes, oh, not quite. On the 28th of June, Housing and Intergovernmental will have a meeting at 7 p.m. And we're reorganizing a little bit, so, excuse me, so we're going to get together and reorganize, restructure the way that the committees operate. And so once we have that meeting, and I think we're due for an election, but after we finish that meeting, then we'll be able to discuss more about what our committee will offer to Sauk Village. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Linda Todd, ordinance and review.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to have an ordinance review meeting on June 29th at 7 p.m. here at the Village Hall. We're going to try to set up a day where we have it once a month on, like, it would be like the third Thursday or the, you know, but right now we're just going to do it on June 29th so we can get established and kind of get acquainted with each other. As far as beautification, we're always looking for volunteers. So there's no meeting scheduled because there really is no one on the committee. So we're always looking for someone to take a gallon of water, maybe water some of the stuff that's around the Village Hall. Pray for rain, so we don't have to do all this watering. And we need volunteers to help pull weeds and kind of make it presentable. One of the things I'm going to do is look at the memorial, and there are things over there that have died, so we're going to try to get those replaced, because plants don't do well sometimes over there. Part of it is the dirt, part of it is the way it sits. It sits like this, so stuff will get a lot of water. So we have to find something that it can tolerate. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee. I just wanted to reiterate, and I will talk about this later, as far as getting volunteers. We do need volunteers, residents. We cannot make this village halfway what we're trying to do without volunteers. We only get paid for so much. So beautification is one of the committees that desperately need, especially this time of the year, in the summertime and in the spring, summer, and fall, so they can help and continue to beautify the village. So I'm looking, hoping that someone, if you know you want to help out in the village, those are some of the things. I mean, they not only pull weeds, they plant and propagate and basically set up the different, I think it's 4 different flower beds that we take care of. So they need help. They need help in doing that. And I'm trying to get some students, which I'm hoping that we can get some from the village to help out. But like I said before, I will talk about that later on in the meeting. Thank you, Trustee Todd. Trustee Elizabeth Zupan, Public Safety.
Thank you, Mayor. While I don't have a set meeting schedule yet, I will say that I am very interested in hearing from residents who are interested in participating in the Public Safety Committee. I am still accumulating some information to formulate what the goals of the committee will be. I've got the mayor's input so far, and I've got some other ideas that I want to incorporate into that. I also want to talk with the various department heads that will be a part of that committee. So if anyone is interested, please, leave a message in my inbox out front. You can stop up there, or you can call Village Hall and ask it to be put into my voicemail. I don't need a formal letter or anything. If you're interested, just, or grab me after a meeting and let me know. And I'll get with the other trustees as we're organizing standing meeting time so that we're not stepping on each other for those who care to participate in more than one committee. So, again, if you're interested, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Okay, number seven, unfinished business. This particular headline was basically put in there for the trustees to, if you had something that you wanted to discuss for the next committee meeting, which is next week, bring your concerns for the strategic plan and also for the finance and procedures. I'm hoping that you continue to keep looking at those particular items that we have. If you have anything that that you see that's in there that catches your eye, or something that you didn't see in there that you would like to have put in there or something, please bring it and we will discuss that. That'll be part of the agenda for next week, and it'll be an ongoing. This will be something that's ongoing that we will try to critique and make sure that we stay on track with this strategic plan for progress and finances and procedures. Okay, new business. I will entertain a motion for the renewal and authorization to sign an agreement with P.L.A.N and Associates for the TIF office.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan and second by trustee Grant. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, did we ever get clarification on the title of the person who will be doing this?
Yes.
So
I got a clarification. Does everyone have a copy of their? Okay. The person that you saw on there was Mary Thompson. She is the vice president, but she's charging at the officer's rate.
So she doing us a favor, or?
No, that's what she's charging us, because I basically wasn't going to pay the vice president rate.
Okay.
So she's been charging at that. I understand if she moved up or whatever, but she's going to be charging us, billing us at the officer's rate.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Question. Mr. Mayor, I think I requested last week that they come and give us an overview on the TIF and what's going on with it.
Please use the mic.
Questions about what we should be doing, about the TIF. Give us an overview, the history of the TIF.
You want them to come out, or you want her to come out?
Whichever is cheaper.
Right, well, give us an overview of the TIF.
Yeah.
I can have her come out at the next committee meeting.
Okay.
Y'all understand, it's still at that same price. Okay.
Well, I think that's something we need to know about.
I'll have her come to the next committee meeting. Any other questions? Madam Clerk, please call.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones, absent. Tates,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Motion carried. B, renewal and authorization to sign an agreement with P.L.A.N McKenna for general consulting services. Everyone got that one too? That's the second one that you got. We talked about it last week. And as I said before, the first one that you were asking about, trustee, they're paid through TIF. The second one is anything that we may need for anything, general consulting services. We're just renewing their agreement. It's up to us whether we need to use them or not, but it's not something that's ongoing. We use them when we can. So we're just basically renewing their not contract, it's just an agreement, because they don't have a contract with us. There's no contract. We just use them. Any questions? Madam Clerk? I'll entertain a motion. I'll move too quick. I'll entertain a motion to accept that authorization for a signed agreement with P.L.A.N McKenna.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Linda Todd, second by trustee Bernice Brewer. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Tates,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item C, the motion to approve the ordinance amending chapter 6, basically we talked about that, is to create a new license, a R3 license for power. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bev Zupan, second by trustee Grant. Any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones, Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. D, motion to approve, I entertain a motion to approve the ordinance for the water, Municipal Code 78-19, Article 2 of the Water, Chapter 78, basically raising it back to $7.50, which would mean an increase back to the dollar. Any motion?
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan and second by trustee Todd. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mohan, about what is the balance left on this loan? Is it around, how much is it? I'm sorry, the loan that we originally raised the water rates for, how much is about left on there?
Approximately about $850,000.
Any more questions?
Question. Mr. Mohan, has a general ledger been set up to receive the $1 more? Is it going to be separate?
Yes, it's going to be done after June 30.
After June 30?
Hmm?
Any questions? Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones, Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Need a motion to repeal Chapter 66 of the Village Code regarding provisions for an honorary designation ordinance. To repeal this particular ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Tate and second by trustee Grant. Any questions?
Question. We were supposed to get some information to look over for the designation of it. Did you give us that? The information for designation of the street sign? We were supposed to, we talked about it in session where you were going to give us some information about how to designate who and when they should get designated.
No, what was gonna happen is, we're gonna repeal this, and the ordinance review committee is gonna rewrite it.
Absolutely.
I understand that.
It was
You was going to give us
referred
some background information.
First thing, okay,
Mhm.
this is repealing an ordinance. So, and it was stated last week that at the time, if this is passed, that we will actually talk about it and change or try to come up with a better ordinance. And then it would be turned over to the ordinance review committee. And we would discuss to see what we would like to have in there. And that's what was stated last week. That's why I put it on, to repeal. And not to come up with another one at this particular point in time, because it's gonna take time.
No, I was just asking for the history and background on why certain people got the
Oh, well,
street
no,
signs.
we're just doing a repeal, we're just making a motion for the community, we're just entertaining the motion to repeal. We can discuss that in a minute.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones, Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item F, motion to approve accounts payable and disbursements.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Tate and second by trustee Grant. Any questions?
Question. Mr. Mayor, on the accounts receivable dated June 13th, there indicated that there are some immediate checks to be written out, and especially in the one in amount for the Illinois Public Risk Fund for $20,000. I do believe there was a ordinance or something said they had to be approved by the council, you might refresh my memory, but I'm not, think it had to be something done by the trustees and the mayor, but I noticed down here that this is a media check.
Okay, I'll let Mohan explain that one for you.
There was an exception. There was an error that was not recorded in the accounts payable, unfortunately. Later on, I came to know that it was not on the list. Therefore, I requested the mayor to approve the cutting of the check, and the mayor approved it. And that's why I have put it in the immediate checks column on the accounts payable report.
It's my understanding you're saying that you forgot or it wasn't on?
It was not on. Somehow I did not get the invoice on time. Therefore, I did not include in the accounts payable.
Oh, last time. Oh, okay. My second question is that according to the accounts payable from, and you probably couldn't answer this unless you saw it, May 12th, there's a difference in the payroll net of about $9,000. And is this due because of the overtime? I mean, generally I think when you pay a payroll, it's generally the same thing every pay period. So unless I show it to you, really, I have to show it to you. But there's a difference of like $9,000.
Normally, it depends based on the payroll activities. That means if there is any overtime is involved, naturally the payroll will go up. If there is no overtime involved, naturally the payroll will come down.
Okay,
so based on the activity.
Okay, so there's no overtime for June in this payroll. The difference, let me show it to you.
Yes, it does.
Okay, and this is the difference in liability, the 77,000.
Mhm.
And what's the difference in liability? Is the liability the same?
No, it will not be. It is, once again, it is based on the total payroll.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I have one.
Yes.
On this, the immediate checks, there was a policy put in place. And my understanding is when you do these immediate checks, that the trustees would get an email, not that we would respond to it, it's just to let us know that they did an immediate check. And that you have to have two written signatures for the approval. So I was wondering, I know at one time it was probably the village administrator and the mayor. Now, on these, who was the two signatures? And will we get an email when you're going to do these immediate checks? Because I thought that was in the policy.
Okay, the immediate checks, first of all, as you stated, was something that happened after the fact, and it needed to be taken care of yesterday. So, but you're absolutely right as far as being informed. I'll take the blame for that you were not informed about this particular one for the Illinois Public Risk Fund. That's something that we overlooked, and we had to pay it because it was a penalty to the employee. But from here going forth, you're absolutely right. Anything that we do as far as immediate checks, we will disseminate that, which I cannot do it. I'll have the clerk do it. Disseminate what we did and what had to happen and what were the circumstances of that. So from here going forth, that will happen.
I mean, I understand the immediate checks, but I know that in the past, that was a big issue. So the policy was put in place, and it's just to alert the trustees, not that we say anything on it, that this is what you do. I understand why you have it. I understand. But I'm just asking, if in the future we can email to just say that you have immediate checks.
You will get an email.
Question? Mohan, apologies, I did not get to you today to ask this, and I should have, so I'll try to not do this in the future. On page 1 of the accounts payable, at the very bottom of the page, under the sewer department, there's a charge of $110 for a drug screen.
Yes.
Do you have any insight into why that's there?
It's an ongoing drug screen of the employees.
Okay.
Randomly, the Ingalls will pick a random employee once every 3 months.
Every 3 months?
Okay,
thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Brewer,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Jones, Tate,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Motion carried. I'll take general comments from the Board of Trustees. I'll start with Trustee Todd.
Nothing at this time.
Trustee Brewer? Trustee Tate?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Grant?
No comment.
Back to Trustee Brewer.
No problem.
Oh, okay. Come back to me. I just wanted to inform everyone, they've seen it out, and it was on the sign. I don't see it up there today, but it was on the sign that we have part-time positions for public works and for code enforcer. In other words, one position. Please tell everyone, do not bring an envelope in and give it to anyone. Apply for the application up front at the counter, and that's the way the applications are handled. So do not give it to a trustee. Do not give it to anybody. You fill it out, you file it, you bring it back in, and you turn it in yourselves. So, but we do have part-time positions open for public works for seasonal. And there's some things that, as you all know, everyone complains about how it looks, and it is atrocious. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to whittle down some of these abandoned home properties and try to get a handle on it so we can make the village look better and attractive so we can bring some businesses in. And the code enforcement, that speaks for itself. We need someone out there, only have one person, so we're going on a part-time basis to come out and write the code enforcement violation. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Brewer. Oh, no, Trustee Todd. Okay, and second by Trustee Zupan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.